Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fanfic Hour with Blank Check. Tonight's story, The Adventures of SWIFTKICK TOODABOLS by Blank Check. Let's begin. I did it! SWIFTKICK TOODABOLS, our protagonist, stood over the body of his arch nemesis, General Bad Guy, lead commander lieutenant of the Changers, who were the villains. The hallway leading up to the boss room of General Bad Guy, arch enemy of SWIFTKICK TOODABOLS, lead commandant lieutenant of the Change-Ups, the villains, was jam-packed with unconscionable change-em bodies, as if they were packed in jelly. General Bad Dude looked upward to the face of his opponent above him, and grimaced like a grimacing pony with a bad aftertaste of cider on a hot summer afternoon in simmering grimy sour cider season. He sputtered with his last breath the words of a dying, grimacing out-of-breath stallion. You may have did me in, but you will never do in Dojojobolokomodofro, the Grandmaster Changer Chili Challenge champion. Few who meet him in single combat have ever walked away without supermassive subspace scissor incisions. Dojojobolokomodofro? Yes, Dojojobolokomodofro. That can't be! I went to Unilateral University with Dadu Dibodorito. He graduated valedictorian. Aha! Since then, he's done nothing but hone his skills in the art of martial arts. He will do you in with his taekwondo. You are done, Swifty Rick Todabill. Our protectionist was taken aback. Generally Bad Man's words blowing him back with their forceful letters and promises of swift kick kicking. This Dadu Poodaboodabo was a seriously busy bad dude who meant serious business. He was probably a badder dude than Gentle Bad Dude, lead commandeer leftovers of the Changer Army, and aching nematode of Nifty Nick Toodaballs. Jenny Rad Guy sputtered his finale breath, cursing Nick Nack 2-for-1 with his dying breath. Our protractor had won the battle, but the war was far from overridden. Pickpocket Freedom Bell set his eye sockets toward the final challenge boss room doorway, a bashing bass betraying the boss beast behind the blasted unbreached bars. Our protozoa set one hoof after the next, stepping one hoof over the other, until the other hoof could no longer be called the next. This is my true mission! Ever since I uncovered my talent for bad boss bashing, I knew my true mission was to bust big bashful boss baddies with impertinency. Even though I didn't know what my cutie mark meant when it first exploded onto my Flanders. It all came crystalline clear the moment I apprehensived the sequined undercover cutesy Nova bad guy sly pie slice spy. From that point on, there was nothing left to stop snip click tongue and bowels. The door opened. Our philanderist stepped inside the open door that opened. Big Stick Tinderroll, is that you, old friend? It is I, Doodad Dorito Dilla, your old friend. Somehow deep down, I knew deep down that it would be you, my old friend. Well, old friend, deep down I believe it would not have to come down to this, if not for what you are deep down, friend. I take it you defragged Gentile Best Buy, your arm necrosis and head corporeal lieutenant of my change armada. That's right, Drilldozer. Gyarados Bardfry, my orange nemesis and red commandeer of your challenger army, the villains, is dead where he died. I'm not circumcised by the events which flick Tostitos. You were always the strongest of the strict, strange Stromboli Streakers Club back in Unubium University. You fertilize me, ding-dong, but I can never hold a candle to you. Enough with these pleasing trees. SWIFTKICK Toodaballs, there is no turning back. You cannot turn back, so prepare your body for my meticulously massive, mesmerizing ministrations of messy, magical, minestrone missiles. On guard, DJ Dojojobolokomodofro! The two titans clashed, standing off against each other's blows like clashing titans. Kick Swift's swift kicks knocked the wind out of his adversity, but Domo Doreganos Tycorn Dodo boasted a rousing round of sound pounding until our predicate was downed to the ground. Wheezing a whispery winded whistle of withdrawal, our prioritizer tried his best to fight through the pain by punching his pain in the face with his mental face-punching mind fists, which were painful. His body begged SWIFTKICK TOODABOLS to quit like the quilting quail quitter that quit the quilting quail query congress, citing a quick quiche-caused quelling of hunger, but our pro-taxonomist couldn't do that. No! Our pragmatist yelled in deference. Like a firestorm, a storm of fire surged around SWIFTKICK deodorant. He could feel the sweltering power rush through all parts of his pony body. First his pony tail, then his pony legs, and next his pony gallbladder, until finally reaching his pony heart. Is it getting hot in here, or am I just on fire? He asked, on fire. Drumstick didgeridoos wizened eyes widened wisely, realizing that his advert soiree was building a newfound power he had just newly discovered. This is the secret power of the Big Rig Fig Pig Twig Jig Society. That knowledge was supposed to be kept under lock and key for 12 millennia. You aren't not falsely incorrect, old friend. But little did you know, dumbbell dodecahedron, that I traveled backwards in time to the time of the Jig Rig Dig Wig Zigzag Foundation and founded it myself long ago. I created that lock and key 12 militias ago. Squeak Squawk Two Bones smirked triumvirantly. Our plantation knew he had the upward hoof. However, Donut Deadpool recipe created his smirk. That may be, old friend, but it looks like your time travel failed to tell you the time I traveled down to Trimetavel, your village, and gift wrap a little gift to myself to gift to you. What? Behold! With the click of a button, the ceiling above Dojojobolokomodofro opened up, and a feminine female girl pony was tied up and lowered above the boiling metal pits that were conspicuously behind Duncan DDD this entire time. Our Piccadilly could only utter one single solitary word without any accompaniment at the sight of his bewildered, betrothed, beloved, best befriended better half. A name so undeniably defiant in its unique identity that it would be a titanic crime for any client to misconstrue its articulation. Susan!
SWIFTKICK, save me! Genial Horsefly, your Arc de Triomphe and communications liaison of the Chargers, the villains, got me with his hot-rodding, naughty-trottingham tater-tot knot technique. And now I'm in danger of becoming fast, flavorful, fermented fondue.
That sounds kind of delicious, our panache replied, earnheartedly.
I know. When we escape, we've got to grab the Big Mac book and Poogle recipe.
Susan agreed. You know I prefer Pahoo.
You also used PonyNet Explorer until last month,
retorted the dangling, gradually lowering Susan. Touché, admonished our Equinderthal. Are you two lovebrads finished? Dodo disestablishmentarianism stood between them on all fours, rightly rolling his rosy retinas with ringing wrathful rage, or at least the one that wasn't covered by his eye patch. Sorry, Susan. Seems safe to say I must serve some spicy justice to this sore, saucy salamander with a sesquipedalian surname, sighed SWIFTKICK.
Go get him, Dipswitch.
Drodor curled his lips into a curly grin. Will you really? With balancing Susan's life in the balance. The twin stationary stallions stood, staring strongly straight at each other for strictly 7 seconds. String King smiled. Oh, I'm not harried over hanging Susan having her hoofacure harassed. You see, Dio, old friend. I know your secret, old friend, you see. What are you implying? Inquired the vile iron eye-patched equine, a single surprised eye belying his surprise. Well, Diddy Kong Dangerfield, I've known this factly matter since we've known each other, as a matter of fact. You are always easy to read. Like a Phillies magazine from Breezy Weed's tween easy reading section. Dig Dug Down Under sweated a stream of sweat down his sweaty, sorrowful snout. You know nothing, Swift Snow for to watch. But I do, Butt Duck Dodger. I know, that your heavy, hollow, hubris-having heart hopes for the huggy hold of one hanging horse who heeds the hail of soup. Enough! I will not humor you and your games, SWIFTKICK. Barked the broad-billed baddie. So be it, acquiesced our Episcopalian equestrian, almost at his accusatory apotheosis. Time to end this farce until it finishes to completion and meets its expiration date. Gladly, With that, dubbed over Donatello jolted forward with a jumping juxtaposed jackhammer jab, a jutting gesture against our just gymnastic joker. A frozen foreleg deflected the furious flight like a feather. Swim Swam Toodaloo greeted his opponent's gravelly gaze. Farewell, old friend. With his free forehoof, Fist Flick flogged the vexed villain with a vengeful veering wallop, evacuating his vital breath with vivacious velocity. Dickory Dock Derpdaddle was shocked, then angry, then shocked, then confused, then nauseous, then he fell over, then shocked, then hungry, then he smiled. Solid strike. Swift. Then Dojojobolokomodofro was dunsies. Switch Flick's time to chill somberly stood over the salty sanitary stallion. Without leadership, the changers will be broken. Their evil may eventually enter the edges of Equestria again, but this era of eating edible equine emotions is at its exiting end. Swift oriented himself o'er the orange oriental ornamental orchard sword aloft the starboard wall. If I know my old pal, then... He altered the axis angle acutely and heard an expected agitation. The boiling basalt below his beloved belched a belabored breath, becoming brown and black where it once bore a brilliant bittersweet bricky blood. Chick Flake winded the wheel to the west, welcoming his would-be wife to the warm ground. Susan stuck the landing. No longer roped together by Rope-a-Dope's dope rope, she groped the rope with her herbivorous mouth molars, and untied her terrible titillating trap in 10 time units flat.
Well, Tic-Tac, time we take our tails back toward town and track our next target,
Susan said, twisting her neck to get that stratospheric pop. You read my mind, Susan. Couldn't have drawn out that de facto delivery without you, dearest Daffodil. They nuzzled their muzzles like two befuddled buzzing yuppies, finishing a rough puzzle while guzzling sizzly fizzy drizzle drink. Our paratroopers turned around and ventured out the boss door. An ended reign of terror and fear finally over. One more expired evil in the world, having met its expiration date and molded like old moldy expired bread, left out on a shelf for too long, and then discarded to meet its final end. Much like this story. The end.